Hello everyone, and welcome to Minecraft Part 6. And as you can see, there's an image. I love it. It's Brian Tyler Cohen looking like he just ate a couple perks. That's the face I make 30 minutes after taking perks. That's exactly it. But I thought that would be fun to share. I love finding funny little frames of people in a video. Like, you can go to any video and just, like, sift through and play around with each frame and find some silly frame like this. It's so great. I love it, and I do it all the time with, like, every video I watch. It's a problem. Please help. But other than that, we're going back to Minecraft. As you can see, I switched out the layout because I want it so that way, you, the person watching, can like see the full gameplay, because with my face cam it kind of blocks out some of the gameplay, and I figured this is an easy fix for it. But if people prefer it the other way, then I can switch it to the other way, but I don't really care. But I thought this might be better for a viewing experience. See, I messed this up last episode. I don't see any stairs. Crap. I'm gonna need stairs. Oh wait, I see them now. Okay, I found them. I just want to get it right. There we go. Got it. Also, I'm not sure if you noticed, but I didn't start this video in second person, by the way. I started it showing the image, so that's new. Haha. I hear zombies. I don't like it. I don't like it. I'm gonna go to the village and sleep. Cause I just want to build. I don't want to be beaten up by monsters. If I'm beaten up by monsters, then how am I gonna build? So I might as well sleep, right? Damn it. I pressed the wrong buttons and I messed it up, but I like to type ZZZ whenever I sleep because it's like snoring. It's like I'm playing an RPG or something, I don't know. But you know how it is. You know how it is. there. And alright. Looks like we're gonna have to do some mining. There we go. Some beef. Alright, I'm back, and we're gonna start the daily show. Let's go.
A quick update on an administration that is once again carrying out its plans with competence and professionalism.
A reporter from The Atlantic says he was mistakenly added to a group chat with top members of the Trump administration as they were texting back and forth about highly sensitive war plans.
Jeffrey Goldberg says he was included in a group chat full of our nation's top security officials discussing what we can only assume to be top secret plans to bomb Houthi targets across Yemen on March 15th. Everything from the weapons America would be deploying to the timing and the attack sequences.
Oopsie poopsie!
Oopsie poopsie.
Yeah, back in my day, if you were a journalist who wanted leaked war documents, you had to work the sources, meet them in a dark garage, earn the trust, pound the pavement. Now, just wait for the National Security Advisor to be distracted by White Lotus while he's setting up his bomb Yemen group chat. Are those guys jerking each other off?
Honestly, there's no excuse for it. None. Like, honestly, the best thing for, like, Republicans to do in response to this shit is just admit that, yeah, this was a mistake. This shouldn't have happened. But they don't. They double down, and it's so fucking weird to me. It's like, you're that, like, self-absorbed, and, like, I can never do anything wrong, that you won't admit that you leaked war plans to a news reporter on accident. Like, and the on accident part doesn't even matter. If you're the government, that shouldn't even be a possibility. You know what I mean? Like, you have all the technology in the world, all of the secret platforms used in the world, and instead of doing, use it on Signal? Like, what the fuck?
By the way, I might be in this group chat. I don't know.
You might be in the group chat. Goddamn, that's a risk.
I don't check my group chats. Perhaps my favorite text of the entire group chain was the one from our defense secretary saying, quote, "We are currently clean on OPSEC." For those of you who don't know, OPSEC means operational security. He said that in a group chat. A group chat with a journalist. The journalist said that he didn't think that the story was real until Yemen was bombed.
I love that. It's so perfect. He's like, no, this has to be fake, right? Like, this has to be some troll. But it's not a troll, it's like... I'm sorry. I mean, I shouldn't be laughing about this because, like, people died. But, like... That's almost where the comedy comes from, is that you're so incompetent and so stupid that not only did you bomb a place and kill a bunch of innocent people, you leaked the plans on how you're going to do so on Signal. Like, I'm sorry, but like that's 10 times worse than what Hillary Clinton did with like having sent stuff with her personal email or something like that. I don't remember exactly what it was because that was a long ass time ago, but how the hell are people so hypocritical and have such high double standards that, oh no, Hillary's bad because what she did what she did and she's a woman and that's horrible. Like, woman makes mild mistake, it's treated like the end of the world. Man makes one of the worst mistakes a president has ever made in history, and it's okay. It's really shitty to see the US take this downfall like that because of this goddamn idiot. And then people are in denial and they don't want to admit that they made a bad decision by voting for him, so they double down. Like, that's what it is. It's all about doubling down, and it's annoying to me.
Let's move on. Because as you know, there are certain hypocrisies and absurdities that we find in our cultural moment that make for great fodder for humorous dialogue, a facial expression, a nod and a wink. Then there are other pronouncements by our elected officials, actions by our government, that are so baldly bullshit, even though you know it will have no effect, and that these powerful creatures have been genetically modified to resist shame, self-reflection of any kind. You just can't help yourself but to go old school Daily Show gotcha. I'm talking about the debate on free speech. Now, as we know, conservatives have been very concerned about the loss of free speech in our country for a very long time.
Bullies on the left aiming to silence conservatives.
Free speech is under siege in this country.
The leftists, they've become the thought police. They basically declare themselves God and judge us for our thoughts.
George Orwell was right. The thought police come next to punish thought crimes.
So ironic.
Very, very.
The thought police, shut up. Like, literally shut up. How are you such a fucking crybaby? It makes none of the sense.
Perhaps not for the reasons you... Are the thought police with you right now, Jimmy?
It's just...
Are they in the bottle? But luckily, our national free speech nightmare recently came to an end when we entered the golden age of Donald Jehoshaphat Trump.
We have saved free speech in America, and we've saved it strongly. Free speech in America, it's back.
Thank God we have a
I hate this
president now
shit.
who believes
Like,
in
how
free
the
speech.
fuck are you this fucking delusional? I love free speech, but I'm also gonna like
who believes
imprison you for making fun of me.
I believe that CNN
Like,
and
shut up.
MSDNC, what they do is illegal. I think CBS should lose its license, but I think ABC should lose its license also because of what they've done.
I watched What Happened Live. I think Bravo should also lose their license.
They
They
lose
did
their
the
license.
Dorinda on traitors. They should be sent to a Salvadorian hellhole. This is what I'm talking about. Generally, you've got to search the archives for contradictions on one's stated principles, dig through policy papers to uncover private actions that are undermined by someone's public stance. But this is so blatant. I can't wrap my head around it. It's not even the hypocrisy. It's that they so fetishize free speech, this thing that they do not in any way actually practice.
The freedom to speak our minds and express the truth that is our heart. Really, that's really a big chunk of our heart.
Any cardiologist will tell you, hearts come in chunks. Blood comes into the aorta to the right ventricle, passes through your speech chunk. But since coming into office, Trump and the Republicans have instituted policies that are a dagger right through many people's speech chunks.
The White House has barred the Associated Press from presidential events because the AP has refused to rename the Gulf of Mexico the Gulf of America in its style book.
And in a dramatic escalation against the American legal system, Trump this weekend directed his government to target law firms battling his actions.
Federal immigration officials arrested a Palestinian activist who helped lead last year's student encampment protest at Columbia.
I think we ought to get them all out of the country. They're troublemakers. They're agitators. They don't love our country.
My chunks!
How can you love the country when all it does is be violent?
My chunks. My chunks. I love you, lady. You're making my perineum tingle. Here's the thing. These attacks on free speech, especially the one where they deported that activist, if there's one thing that I know about the powerful principals at our higher education institutions, they will not be bullied by a Roll 212.
Columbia University is bowing to President Trump's demands, announcing it will change a number of policies.
Among them, placing the school's Middle Eastern, South Asian, and African Studies Department under academic receivership for at least 5 years.
Some students protested the war in Gaza. Suddenly, a whole academic department is on double secret probation with government oversight. And by the way, okay, Middle East part, African Studies? What the did they do? Sure, the African Studies professor's like, I teach intermediate Swahili. See, these guys don't give a about free speech. They care about their speech. It's so blatant hypocrisy. It's so old school Daily Show gotcha. You know what? I'm just going to put on the wig I used to wear during those years.
Wig King. He's the king of wigs. Actually, no, that's Roger Smith from American Dad. Never mind.
Who would criticize judges that he has appointed?
A lot of the judges that I had, if you look at them, they take tremendous abuse, and it's truly interference, in my opinion, and it should be illegal, and it probably is illegal in some form.
Yes, criticizing judges. It is interference. It should be illegal. Tremendous abuse. And 4 days later, not 4 days later, not a full French work week later.
President Donald Trump just took to Truth Social and deemed this judge, responding to this decision here, calling him a radical left lunatic of a judge, a troublemaker and agitator who was sadly appointed by Barack Hussein Obama. He says this judge should be impeached.
The hypocrisy. It burns. And are we really still doing the Barack Hussein Obama thing? Oh, free Harambe. Come on, people. See, what was the whole thing that they hated about the left on free speech?
No one is safe from the left's word police.
No one. What exactly would an actual government-run word police organization look like?
The Trump administration
literally
is
the left
trying to purge the
the left never even word policed. It was like, we should have freedom of speech. You should be able to say racist shit if you want to say racist shit, but you can't get mad when people don't want to associate with you after you say racist shit, right? Or sexist shit or transphobic shit. You that's social repercussions, you know what I mean? Like, if people that you're around don't want to hang out with you because you tend to be really racist or some shit, then that's their right. It's not word policing, it's freedom of association. Like, get real. Stop being such a fucking crybaby.
Federal government of so-called woke.
Oh no, someone said my pronouns are she, her, not he, him. Oh my god, how dare they correct you? How dare they ask of you to use these pronouns instead of those pronouns? How dare they? Like, get real. Like, what are you talking about? That has nothing to do with freedom of speech. That's all about fucking just being a decent human. Like, god damn. These people are so soft, it's unbelievable. And then they call the left snowflakes. Like, come on.
Initiatives, government agencies have flagged hundreds of words to limit or avoid. Words like DEI, BIPOC, anti-racism, Latinx, Native American, Black, women. Seemingly random words like expression, at risk, political, and even mental health and sex.
What's left? BIPOC and Latinx, I get that. You're not allowed to say sex. You can't say words like women or sex or hashtag me too. How can a lot of your cabinet members describe their weekends? You know, you can't protest in a way that offends the right. You can't teach things that the right doesn't want you to teach. You can't read things that they don't want you to read. You can't use words that they don't want you to use, but they love free speech. I guess fear not. At least we'll always have art.
President Trump
oh yeah, and then they fucking do this.
demanding a painting of him be removed because he finds it unflattering.
Like, dude, I'm sorry that you find that unflattering, but you are unflattering. Like, your existence is fucking painful. Like, I wake up in the morning and I have murder on my mind because of you. But then I remember I don't live in the States, and also, it's not really worth the jail time. I don't have what it takes to be a Luigi. Sorry. But if I did, you'd be dead already. Like, I would be in prison and you would be dead.
At least in the painting, they blended the foundation in.
But like I said, I don't really have the guts to do that.
But painting is out. Oddly enough, there is still one area of free speech that the right defends non-hypocritically.
I think they've come a long way. Meta, Facebook.
Mark Zuckerberg came to the White House, who I like much better now.
You know, I have a warm spot in my heart for TikTok. Twitter, now they call it X. And it's great that Elon bought that. He's done us all a big favor.
He loves it. Meta, X, the tickety-tick. Why is it that they're so enamored with social media?
Studies by the Wall Street Journal, Washington Post, and academic organizations have found that the site forced political content on users. That content was almost invariably pro-Trump, pro-Republican, and pro-Musk.
Huh.
I wonder why.
The one area of free speech that they want to protect completely is the area that supports them and isn't actually free. Social media is algorithmic, and it advances with key demographics, or to put that in the most hilarious way possible.
The president sat down with Outkick's Clay Travis on Air Force One to discuss the status of his second term.
President Trump, getting to talk to you here on Air Force One. I wanted to start with this. Why do you think young men are so overwhelmingly coming in your direction?
Like, how the audience claps too. They're like, yes! I love the gay shit. It's so great. I fucking love it.
My work here is done. Perhaps I can answer that question. They are overwhelmingly coming in his direction because that is the direction they're facing. I don't know if you know how that works, but you really can't come in a direction you're not facing. Although, young men at that age, you could bank a shot. I could see one fly over the shoulder. Maybe a trick shot where they landed in a cup. You know where that would go viral? Social media. The one place the right will unequivocally protect free speech is the one place where the speech isn't actually free. Algorithms, it's speech incentivized for engagement and profit. It's manipulated. It just so happens that the same process that forces you to doom scroll somehow also draws you into Republican ideology. Social media is a machine designed to stimulate the reptilian parts of your brain that would otherwise beg you to go outside. It's like being impressed that casinos give out free food. It's not free. Social media isn't the town square open forum of ideas. It's got a plan that would otherwise beg you to go outside. It's like being impressed that casinos give out free food. It's not free. Social media isn't the town square open forum of ideas. It's got a plan.
In the summer of 2019, Facebook created a fake account for a 41-year-old mom. They called her Carol Smith. Carol started off by liking a few popular conservative Facebook pages, but quickly, Facebook began dragging her down a rabbit hole of misinformation. After only 2 days, Facebook recommended Carol follow a QAnon page, and a few days later, it suggested she follow another. By week 3, Carol's feed had become, quote, a constant flow of misleading and polarizing content.
Now, Carol Smith is a completely fictional character, and yet her children have stopped talking to her. Although she was apparently added to a Pentagon group chat and knows the details about when they're bombing. Guys, social media isn't the same as free speech. Social media is free speech in the way that Doritos are food. It's ultra-processed. It's designed in laboratories. It's the same mechanism that somehow convinced you that you should eat a 50-story skyscraper of potato-ish. And the most
I did it in time. There we go.
Where are my conspiracy theorists at now that it's on the right? For God's sakes, billionaires are designing machines to manipulate our speech, to control our behavior and rewire our brains. They're removing our regular speech and doing a, I don't know, great replacement of it to solidify their hold on power. Are you awake yet? Come on, you were with me on the lab leak thing, remember what happened? Come on! You barely even touched your Epstein binders. Doesn't this bother you at all?
Elon Musk has taken a very courageous stand for the First Amendment. He's tough as a pine knot, and the man's got guts. He's got oranges the size of beach balls.
It's such a weird thing to say. Like, what? Beach balls? Really?
Stop with this foghorn, leghorn bullshit.
Only that's true. The only thing inside of a beach ball is his stomach, and then it might be 3 times. So, like, what the fuck? What are you talking about?
How do you feel about other billionaires owning and manipulating our media?
Mr. Soros is now the largest single shareholder in Odyssey radio stations. In America, you can't just go do this. Mr. Soros is a billionaire. Pass me the sick bucket. Sitting right.
Pass us all the mother sick bucket.
By now, we all know the story about how Trump's team included a reporter in their war planning group chat, and we don't need to hear it again. But it is super funny, so let's hear about it again.
This morning, fallout from that stunning lapse in national security. Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth, along with other top members of President Trump's national security team, sharing details about a planned large-scale attack on Yemen earlier this month on the commercial message app Signal, and inadvertently including journalist Jeffrey Goldberg on that chain. Hegseth shared operational details of forthcoming strikes, weapons deploying, and attack sequencing.
Goldberg also reported that when it comes to security, Hegseth wrote at one point, "We are currently clean on OPSEC." That's the acronym used for operational security.
Oh, ha 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 ha. You think that's funny, don't you? That the stupid Secretary of Defense is so stupid and all drunk that he texted "we're clean on OPSEC" when there's a reporter right in the group chat? Yeah? Well, laugh it up, people. Because unlike you, I have human empathy for these people who are just trying their best to kill other humans, all right? I guarantee that if anyone in this audience had their group chats leaked, it would ruin every single one of your lives. I personally have chats that are actually more sensitive than a missile attack on the Houthis, okay? If you told me that my group chats leaked and then told me it was just my missile attack one, I'd be like, oh my God, thank God. Thank God. And by the way, it wasn't even Pete Hegseth who added him. It was some other incompetent guy at the highest levels of government, okay? Like, what, you think Hegseth has the editor of the Atlantic magazine saved in his phone? No way, all right? If Hegseth autofilled a contact into a group chat, it would be like Tampa Bay blonde with Bugs Bunny tattoo. But still, you gotta ask, how did this happen? I mean, don't you guys have tech support in the government? I mean, what? Oh. Okay. Well, if you ask me, adding a reporter wasn't even the most embarrassing thing to happen on this group chat.
According to Goldberg, the administration officials reacting after the strikes, excellent, a good start. Waltz even sending several emojis.
I love
Is anyone else kind of upset that we're conducting war by emoji now?
Like, it's so unreal.
I mean, what
like,
does
what
this
the
even
fuck?
mean? What,
like, literally, American politics has just devolved into entertainment. Like, it's just entertainment.
Situations. It's too open to interpretation. Okay? Like, imagine if your doctor texted you a crab emoji, right?
I remember this.
Now you're going, oh my God, I have crabs? And your doctor has to be like, LOL, no, it's the astrology sign for Cancer.
It's so good.
You have cancer. But now everyone is yelling at them about this breach of national security or whatever, and the Department of Defense is having trouble defending themselves. Luckily, all of MAGA is there to help them. Counter argument one. Nobody's perfect.
Well, it's a mistake. You know, we make mistakes. We all make mistakes.
It's not even a mistake.
But you're a government leader. You shouldn't be making mistakes. That's the thing.
Like I said before, it was a mistake. Everyone makes mistakes.
Is that sufficient accountability to you to recognize that someone made a mistake and moving on? Because I don't see that same standard being held
Boris,
when other people have made...
I gave you the soundbite already. I gave you the soundbite already.
Boris, I gave you the soundbite. Stop asking follow-up questions. If I wanted to talk to a journalist, I'd be on a private group chat with Pete Hegseth. Okay, cut it out. Like, come on, what, we're just calling this a mistake now? Like, look, my DoorDasher forgetting straws is a mistake that can be rectified with 1 star and no tip, okay? But this feels like a major f***up, and they're acting like nobody will care about this. And honestly, they're probably right. I mean, nothing seems to matter anymore anyway, and everyone will forget this in a few days when Trump sends the new Snow White to Gitmo. And even if they didn't accidentally add a journalist into this group chat, They weren't supposed to be talking about this stuff on Signal in the first place, okay? Signal might be a good app for you and me and our local drug dealer, but it's not for the Pentagon to plan wars on.
One former White House official told Politico their personal phones are all hackable, and it's highly likely that foreign intelligence services are sitting on their phones watching them type the shit out.
That's right. Foreign adversaries could be watching whatever Pete Hegseth types into his phone, like "bar near me" or "how to fool breathalyzer" or "how to uncrash car." But if you're not satisfied with "it was just a mistake," they have another defense. It was just a mistake. That was awesome.
The bigger takeaway for me is it's an insight, a transparent insight into the thought process and dialogue of our national leaders. If you read the content of these messages, I think you'll come away proud that these are the leaders making these decisions in America.
What you did
It's so
though, I
pathetic.
think, was top-level
Just
officials
fucking
doing their
nutsack.
job, doing it well, and executing on a plan with precision.
Gnarlers. I don't know. They took Donald Trump's dick, that's the point. Like, Donald Trump does something bad, and they're like, look, it wasn't that bad, but also you should be thankful because look at all this other stuff. And then when the other stuff they're referring to is all lies, like, it doesn't happen, like, it's pathetic as fuck. Like, I'm so sick and tired of it. Like, I know people whose lives depend on the decisions that you people make as world leaders, and it's fucking disgusting. They're just gonna let people die.
They also want to masturbate later.
It really upsets me.
Just to summarize, the Trump administration admitted this happened, but it was a small mistake, and it was a good thing that it happened, but also, what if the reporter made the whole thing up?
Not a good reporter. Jeffrey Goldberg from The Atlantic, one of the biggest hoax artists around.
I happen to know the guy's a total sleazebag. The Atlantic is a failed magazine, does very, very poorly.
You're talking about a deceitful and highly discredited so-called journalist who's made a profession of peddling hoaxes time and time again. This is the guy that peddles in garbage.
Right. So this reporter who is dishonest and sucks is also correct. And also, we added him to our group chat because he's a fun hang. I mean, you can't use "it was a mistake" and "it was fake news." You gotta pick one, okay? You gotta get together and figure it out, okay? But not in a group chat. No more group chats. But, you know what? All's well that ends well. The good news is that no one got hurt except for the people of Yemen. And I guess it'll be okay as long as everyone involved learned their lesson.
Peter, exit question, and I don't know if you know the answer. Are they ever going to use Signal again for something like this?
It seems like, yes, they will.
Okay, good enough.
Okay, good enough. Yep, good. We solved it. Good. Now we all know that Donald Trump's meritocracy brain geniuses planned an attack on Yemen in a Signal group chat and accidentally invited a journalist, Jeffrey Goldberg. And this story might have ended on day one if the administration had just owned it and made some bullshit statement like, "Sorry, we're taking accountability, hashtag listening and learning," and blah, 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 blah. But they just can't help themselves because whenever they're in trouble, their default response is to punch their way out of it, which only makes things worse. So now we're still talking about this 3 days later instead of what I wanted to cover tonight, which was 23andMe going bankrupt and what they're gonna do with all your DNA. One word, face off. Okay, that's 2 words with a slash, and we can't decide that. Look, it doesn't matter, all right? The point is they're going to put your face on someone else, and the White House wants to move on. They've got to come clean and stop stepping on their own dicks, okay? So let's start with something easy. For National Security Advisor Mike Waltz, how did the reporter get invited into the group chat?
I don't mean to be pedantic here, but how did the number
have
get
you ever
in the
had
chat?
Have you ever had somebody's contact that shows their name and then you have somebody else's number there?
make those mistakes.
Right? You got somebody else's number on someone else's contact. So, of course, I didn't see this loser in the group. It looked like someone else. I mean, I'm sure everybody out there has had a contact where it was said one person and then a different phone number.
No.
No. No one's ever had that, all right? People don't have a contact with a phone number for like a different person. Unless they're having an affair. So I guess I'm saying I think this guy is having an affair with Jeffrey Goldberg. And look, even if that was an actual, somewhat relatable mistake, maybe try not making that mistake when you're planning a war. And why are you shitting on Jeffrey Goldberg? He's a loser. This guy sucks. He's dishonest. He didn't do anything. All he did was wake up in the morning and you added him to your group chat.
I'm gonna get
You like
Diamond
abducted
X
him and forced him to see your secret.
Stupid.
But okay, the bigger issue is
I just want to cut down
was
trees
shared
faster.
in the group chat. Jeffrey Goldberg says there were war plans that were so sensitive.
Sorry, not
he
sorry.
didn't even put them in his article. But Pete Hegseth spent the last 2 days saying he's lying.
Nobody was texting war plans. Nobody's texting war plans. Nobody's texting war plans.
Okay, great. Could be more clear. Nobody was texting war plans. You hear me? Nobody was texting war plans. Nobody was texting.
And we begin with the breaking news. The Atlantic magazine's editor-in-chief, Jeffrey Goldberg, is releasing the messages from the Yemen strike plans group chat. And the screenshots show discussions of weapons and specific timing of U.S. military strikes.
11:44 a.m. Eastern that time. Weather is favorable. Just confirmed with CENTCOM we are a go for mission launch. 12:15 Eastern, F-18s launch, declaring this first strike package. 13:45, trigger-based F-18 first strike window starts. Target terrorist is at his known location, so should be on time. 14:15, strike drones on target. This is all caps. This is when the first bombs will definitely drop.
Okay, look, just because you write in all caps, this is when the first bombs will definitely drop, doesn't mean they're war plans. Okay? This is Pete Hegseth. Maybe he was talking about Jaeger bombs.
Forgot about that. Jaeger bombs are awesome. I love Jaeger bombs.
If you ask me, that looks a lot like a plan for the war. It had military time and everything, okay? It had more details than you get from DoorDash. And those guys tell you everything, all right? 8:56, we have received your order. 8:59, we are preparing your food. 9:06, we accidentally dropped your food. 9:07, actually, don't worry about it, we're on our way. So I think it's a war plan, but what the hell do I know? I've never seen one before because no one's ever been dumb enough to put one in a group chat with a journalist. But maybe this is a good thing, okay? The receipts are out, so we can call a spade and admit that these are indeed very specific war plans.
I don't think it's specific enough to be considered war plans. It doesn't tell you, hey, we're going to hit this particular village, this particular city, this particular target, this particular individual.
They were talking about when, not specific longitude and latitude and all that other stuff.
Oh man, Janine must be a nightmare to make plans with. Hey, you said meet at Chili's at 7, but where's the longitude? Like, stop pretending you need some arbitrary detail to make it a war plan, okay? It's like saying this wasn't an orgy. We didn't have the pink feathers and the eyes wide shut mask. Were there more than 3 dicks? Then it was an orgy, okay? Everything else is semantics. You know what? You tell me. If having a detailed schedule plan of attack is not a war plan, then what is it?
Do you think these are war plans?
Oh, this, it's an outline of what is about to happen.
There were no war plans in any of this stuff. There's a conversation.
This was a private conversation.
I would characterize this messaging thread as a policy discussion, a sensitive policy discussion, surely.
What is a war plan?
It's disgusting.
is war, man? It's just raw spelled backwards. I think it was Shakespeare that said, "What is in a plan? That which we call a war by any other name would accidentally get texted to Jeffrey Goldberg." This Tuesday, there's an election for a seat on the Wisconsin Supreme Court. And I know what you coastal elites are thinking. So what? They'll rule on what? Whether it's legal to marry your cheese or whatever the issues are in Wisconsin? Well, yes, that is part of it. But also, it will determine whether abortion is legal in Wisconsin and how to redraw election districts, which could even determine which party controls Congress. And that's why the weather report for Wisconsin is calling for rain.
$100 million. That's how much money could be spent on a state Supreme Court race in Wisconsin. And that would make it the most expensive judicial election in U.S. history.
The race pairing Judge Susan Crawford from liberal hotbed Dane County against conservative Judge Brad Schimmel from Waukesha has big money outside donors like George Soros, J.B. Pritzker, and Elon Musk opening their wallets.
Trump's close ally and financial backer Musk has gone all in on Schimmel's campaign. The tech billionaire and groups aligned with him have poured more than $20 million into the state.
Now, I know $20 million sounds like a lot, but remember that Elon has over $300 billion. $20 million is like one of his kids. It means nothing to him. Yes, this race has turned into a billionaire Royal Rumble. I mean, they're spending $100 million, which is obscene. I mean, you know, for that kind of money, you could have bought tens of thousands of Wisconsin residents their first ever salad. Instead, they're spending it on ads like this.
This street's like any other in Wisconsin, but the new neighbor is a pedophile, thanks to Judge Susan Crawford's sweetheart sentence.
How corrupt is Brad Schimmel? Schimmel gave a plea deal to a man caught with child porn.
Crawford let the predator out in just 4 years.
Brad Schimmel let a sex predator loose on our kids.
Letting the rapist walk free.
While rapists walk free.
Called Crawford's negligence utterly disgusting.
That's disgusting.
Criminals are praying Susan Crawford gets elected.
If you want them to be safe, don't vote for him.
Wow. Why is SVU wasting his time in New York? I mean, you got at least 20 seasons down there in Wisconsin. I mean, if you got this many pedophiles in Wisconsin, maybe the problem is Wisconsin. Because for me watching this on the outside, I'm like, should the rest of us put a wall up around Wisconsin to keep all the pedophiles in there? I mean, I know it will trap the kids in there too, but the kids are probably also pedophiles, so it should be fine. I mean, there's so many pedophiles that if you want to win, you should probably be making pro-pedophile ads. Because it seems like it's a big constituency over there. Like, why don't you do some outreach? But hey, I guess this is the story of American elections. Way too much money paying for way too many negative ads. In fact, Elon Musk is spending so much money on attack ads, he's not even paying attention to who the ads are attacking.
An attack ad against Supreme Court Justice candidate Susan Crawford is using a picture of a different Susan Crawford. An ad launched by a group backed by Elon Musk instead used a picture of Susan P. Crawford, who's a Harvard University law professor.
Okay, to be fair, if I'm ever talking to a white woman over 50 and I forget her name, I just call her Susan Crawford, and I'm usually right like 80% of the time. But hey, maybe Elon just needs glasses. I mean, it could change everything. He'd be like, oh my God, that Cybertruck looks like shit. But Elon isn't just spending all that money on attack ads. He's also dusting off a tactic from the 2024 election, voter self-checkout.
The Elon Musk-backed America Political Action Committee asking Wisconsin voters to sign a, quote, petition in opposition to activist judges. The reward for each signature, $100.
$100? Come on, Elon. It's going to take more than that for Americans to sell their souls to you.
Elon Musk's Political Action Committee has handed out $1 million to a voter in Wisconsin just for signing a petition.
$1 million? Come on, Elon. You have taken way less for Americans to sell their souls to you, all right? I would have done it for $250.
that's all of that. That was fun to watch. Alright. I think I'm going to end it here. So, bye everyone. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. And in the next part, we will continue building the house that's behind me. So, thank you so much again, and peace.